The stars stretched endlessly around Alex as he piloted his small research shuttle through the uncharted regions of the galaxy. The mission had seemed simple at first: map new planets, collect samples, and return. But something about this region of space had felt different. The instruments flickered with strange readings, and sometimes the sensors picked up faint signals that didn't match any known celestial phenomenon. Most of his crew dismissed it as space noise, but Alex felt a pull, a quiet insistence that there was more to discover. The shuttle shuddered violently as a sudden gravitational anomaly ripped across the space near them. Alarms screamed in the cockpit, warning of extreme stress on the hull. Alex gritted his teeth, fingers flying over the controls, trying to stabilize the ship. The colors outside twisted unnaturally as space itself seemed to bend and fold. Before he could even call for help, the anomaly pulled him in completely, and the stars vanished into a swirl of light. When Alex opened his eyes, he was no longer in space. The shuttle had landed on a surface that shimmered with colors he had never seen. The ground beneath him sparkled faintly, like crushed gemstones, and enormous trees with translucent leaves towered over him. Rivers glowed with a soft, inner light, and islands floated in the sky, tethered by invisible forces. Alex's jaw dropped. This was no ordinary planet. He had landed in the heart of an alien world untouched by human hands. He climbed out of the shuttle cautiously, scanning the surroundings. The air was breathable but carried a subtle sweetness. The ground beneath him pulsed gently, almost as if alive. His curiosity overcame caution, and he stepped forward. A sudden rustle echoed from the crystalline forest. From between the glowing trunks, alien soldiers emerged. Their armor was sleek and reflective, shaped in ways he had never imagined. Weapons that looked like liquid metal bristled from their hands. They surrounded him quickly, circling with silent precision. Alex raised his hands in surrender. I'm not here to fight," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "I'm just a traveler." One of the soldiers stepped forward, tilting its head. Its eyes glowed faintly, but there was no expression he could recognize. The other soldiers remained silent, all tension and readiness. Alex's mind raced. He had expected hostility, but he had not expected this level of precision. If these beings wanted to kill him, he would have no chance. Then the world seemed to hold its breath. A voice, melodic and commanding, whispered across the clearing. "Leave him," it said, and the soldiers hesitated, lowering their weapons slightly. Alex's heart skipped. The voice came from above, from a place he could not see clearly. A figure descended from the air itself, moving with elegance and grace. She was taller than any human, with skin that shimmered like liquid moonlight and hair that flowed as if it were made of starlight. Her eyes, immense and deep, seemed to see through him, through every fear and doubt he carried. This was the alien queen. The stories he had heard, the legends, could not compare to her presence. "You are far from your home, human," she said softly, her voice like a melody. It was not harsh or cruel, yet it carried the weight of command. Alex felt a strange pull, like a thread had tied him to her voice. He didn't know why, but he felt he had to listen, that he had no choice. I don't know how I got here," he admitted, his voice trembling slightly. "I didn't mean to intrude." The queen studied him for a long moment, her gaze assessing, weighing. Then she moved closer, and the air seemed to shimmer around her. She leaned slightly toward him, and Alex could hear her whisper, as if directly into his mind. "You're mine now." The words struck him like a jolt of electricity. He didn't fully understand their meaning, yet they resonated deep inside him. Something about the way she said them, firm, yet intimate, made him feel both honored and unnervingly exposed. He looked around, expecting some trap, but saw only the queen and her soldiers, waiting silently. Then she gestured toward a massive portal behind her. It shimmered with energy, colors blending and flowing in impossible patterns. "Through this, I give you my world," she said. "Your life, your future, your choice, it begins there." Alex hesitated. He thought of his home, his crew, the life he had known. But he also felt the weight of the Queen's offer. To refuse would be to leave a world unexplored, to deny the chance to step beyond the boundaries of human experience. His curiosity, his desire to see and understand, pushed him forward. Slowly, he stepped through the portal. The world on the other side took his breath away. Floating cities rose above luminous rivers, their structures a blend of elegance and technology. Bridges shimmered as if made from light itself. Beings of all shapes and sizes moved gracefully, some flying, some walking, all blending seamlessly with the beauty of their environment. The air was filled with music-like sounds, rhythms that seemed to resonate with the energy of the planet itself. Alex wandered through the city, careful to observe without intruding. He marveled at the architecture, the alien flora, the way the inhabitants interacted with the world. Every movement seemed purposeful, a balance of grace and strength. Yet he also felt their eyes on him, curiosity mingled with caution. He realized quickly that earning their trust would not be easy. A soldier approached him cautiously. "You are the human the Queen spoke of," it said, voice even but carrying weight. "You will follow her guidance. She will teach you the ways of our people." Alex nodded, unsure but willing. "I will do my best." The soldier led him to a central plaza where the Queen awaited. She stood at the highest point, overlooking the city, her posture regal and commanding. When she noticed him, she descended gracefully, landing in front of him with fluid precision. She studied him, her eyes softening slightly. "You are brave, human, and yet bravery alone will not keep you alive here. You must learn quickly." "I want to learn," Alex said. His voice carried more confidence than he felt. The Queen smiled faintly, a gesture that seemed impossible yet genuine. "Good. Then you will begin tomorrow. There is much you must see, much you must understand. My people, my world, and the forces that threaten it, these will test you. But if you succeed, you will earn your place here." Alex's mind raced. He had not expected to be a student of an alien civilization, yet the thought excited him. Here was a chance to step beyond humanity's limitations, to experience a world beyond imagination. But he also felt the responsibility. The Queen had given him more than a gift. She had entrusted him with her people, her world, and, in a sense, herself. As the day ended, Alex was shown to a place to rest, a chamber that floated above the city, with walls of transparent crystal and soft light that pulsed like a heartbeat. He looked out over the city, the rivers glowing below, islands floating in the sky. For the first time, he felt small and significant at the same time. He had entered a world that defied logic, yet he was expected to belong, to thrive, and perhaps to lead in some small way. Sleep came uneasily. His dreams were filled with visions of the Queen, her eyes watching him, the city alive with movement and energy. He saw glimpses of challenges, of strange creatures, of conflicts he could barely understand. And yet through it all, a quiet voice in his mind repeated the Queen's words. "You're mine now." Alex woke at dawn, the crystal light of the planet washing over him. He rose, feeling a mixture of fear and excitement. Today, his lessons would begin. Today, he would step further into the world the Queen had given him. And though he did not know what lay ahead, he felt a spark of determination. He would face the unknown. He would learn. And somehow he would find a place in this alien world, a human among beings who seemed beyond human comprehension. The Queen appeared at the entrance to the chamber, silent as a shadow, yet commanding the space. She nodded at him. "Come, your first lesson awaits." Alex followed, heart pounding. The city unfolded before him in ways he could barely take in, the floating plazas, the glowing rivers, the alien beings moving with elegance and purpose. Every step he took felt like stepping into history, into a story that had already been written across the stars. He was a small part of it, yet he could feel the weight of potential, the power of what could be. The Queen led him to a grand hall filled with holographic projections of the planet, its history, and its people. She explained the delicate balance that sustained life here, the energy flows, the political structure, the threats from rival factions, and the importance of wisdom and courage. Alex listened intently, absorbing every word. The more he learned, the more he realized the challenge he faced. This was not merely survival, it was stewardship, leadership, and understanding a culture so different from his own. As the sunlight glow of the planet's twin stars bathed the city, Alex felt a quiet resolve. He had been chosen by the Queen, pulled into this world for a reason he did not yet understand. He could not fail, not for himself, not for her, and not for the people who looked to him, even if they did not yet trust him fully. The day ended with the Queen watching him from a balcony above the city. Her expression was unreadable, yet Alex felt a strange sense of connection. He did not fully understand it, but he knew one thing: his life had changed forever. The adventure had only begun, and the path ahead would test every skill, every thought, every ounce of courage he possessed. And so, Alex stood on the balcony beside the glowing river below, feeling the weight of a world in his hands, and the quiet, unshakable truth of the Queen's words echoing in his mind. "You're mine now." The story of human ingenuity, courage, and discovery was just beginning, and Alex was determined to rise to the challenge. Alex awoke to the soft glow of the floating city, feeling a strange mixture of excitement and nervousness. Today, his training would begin in earnest. The Queen had tasked him with understanding her world, not just its beauty, but its dangers, its politics, and its people. He dressed quickly in the simple garment provided, a flexible suit that adjusted to his movements and seemed to blend subtly with the surroundings. The Queen was waiting in the central plaza. She descended gracefully from above, as if floating on air, her presence commanding the space around her. "Today, you will see more than you have seen," she said. "You will encounter my people, and you will begin to understand the strength and wisdom required to survive here." Alex followed her through the streets. The city was alive with energy. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through the plazas. Some had wings, some had multiple limbs, some seemed almost made of light. They watched Alex carefully as he passed, curiosity and caution in their gaze. He felt a pang of self-consciousness but reminded himself that he was here to learn and to prove himself. The Queen led him to a large amphitheater suspended above the glowing river. Here, she said, he would meet the leaders of the various factions within her world. They had been skeptical of his presence, and his first task was to earn their respect. Alex's heart raced, but he took a deep breath. He knew that humanity had succeeded in impossible situations before. He could do this. The first leader approached, a tall figure with armor that shimmered like liquid metal. Its voice was deep and resonant. "Human," it said, "you enter a world not made for your kind. Why should we accept you?" Alex stepped forward. "I am not here to take or destroy. I am here to understand, to learn, and to help. I know your world is fragile and I want to contribute, not harm it." The alien studied him for a long moment, then it nodded slowly. "Words are not enough. Show us your strength, your wisdom, and your courage. Only then will you earn our trust." Alex knew this meant he would face challenges, tests of his mind and body. The Queen's eyes followed him, calm but intense, as if she were silently judging each step he took. The first trial came swiftly. The amphitheater's floor opened, revealing a platform suspended over the glowing river. Creatures emerged, beings of energy that darted like lightning, testing his reflexes. Alex had no weapons, only his instincts and knowledge of physics. He used quick thinking, dodging and luring the creatures toward each other until they neutralized themselves. The aliens watching murmured in surprise. The next trial tested his mind. Holographic puzzles appeared around him, representing the complex energy flows of the planet. Miscalculate, and entire sectors of the city could collapse. Alex studied the patterns carefully, drawing upon logic, observation, and creativity. Slowly, methodically, he solved the puzzles. The energy flows stabilized and the holograms vanished. Whispers of admiration rippled through the audience. Finally, the Queen led him to a combat trial. A rogue faction of aliens had attempted to seize one of the floating islands, threatening the city's balance. Alex would not fight physically. He had no combat training comparable to these beings, but he had strategy. Using his understanding of trajectories, leverage, and timing, he devised a plan. He guided the Queen's soldiers, predicting the movements of the rogue faction and setting traps that exploited the enemy's overconfidence. The battle was tense, but Alex's plan worked. The rogue faction was contained and the city was safe. The Queen approached him after the battle, her expression unreadable but her eyes softer than before. "You have done well," she said. "You see the strengths that lie within you, human. You are not just a visitor here. You are becoming part of this world." Alex felt a surge of relief and pride. For the first time, he felt that he could belong, even in a world so alien and beautiful. But he also knew that earning the trust of the people was only part of the journey. He needed to understand the deeper complexities, the culture, the history, and the responsibilities that came with the Queen's gift. Over the next days, he explored the planet with guidance from the Queen. She showed him the floating forests, where the trees communicated through pulses of light. He learned the ways of the people, how respect, courage, and wisdom were valued above brute strength. He encountered beings who were suspicious of humans, their distrust justified by past conflicts with visitors from other worlds. Alex worked patiently, helping them solve problems, showing them that human creativity and courage could complement their own abilities. Slowly, barriers broke down, and he began to see the subtle ways the Queen's people balanced their society, maintaining harmony even in a world of immense power. One day, while exploring a crystal valley, Alex encountered a massive creature, a guardian of the land. It towered over him, its limbs like living stone, eyes glowing with intelligence. Most humans would have panicked, but Alex remembered the lessons he had learned. He approached calmly, showing no fear, and observed the creature's patterns. Using his understanding of movement and space, he avoided provoking it while finding a way to pass safely. The guardian regarded him with quiet acknowledgement before retreating into the forest. Alex realized that respect and understanding could be more powerful than weapons. As he grew more confident, the Queen began to involve him in matters of governance. She explained the delicate balance of power, the threats from neighboring systems, and the importance of alliances. Alex offered ideas, strategies based on logic, observation, and creativity that impressed even the most skeptical leaders. The Queen watched closely, noting how human ingenuity could complement her own strength and experience. Yet, challenges continued. A faction of dissenters tried to manipulate the energy flows of the planet to create chaos. Alex and the Queen worked together, combining their skills to stabilize the system. Alex coordinated defense, predicted enemy movements, and devised clever solutions that leveraged both human ingenuity and alien technology. Their combined efforts not only thwarted the plot, but also strengthened the bonds between the human and alien communities. Through it all, Alex and the Queen developed a deep understanding of each other. Words were not always necessary. A glance, a gesture, or shared action spoke volumes. Alex realized that her gift of the world was not merely territory or power. It was trust, partnership, and responsibility. She had given him a chance to prove that humanity could rise to challenges beyond its own understanding, and he had done so. In the final days of his trials, the Queen summoned all the leaders and people of her world. She stood beside Alex and spoke. "This human has shown courage, wisdom, and respect. He has faced our challenges and learned our ways. He has proven that strength comes not just from power, but from understanding, creativity, and the willingness to act for the good of all." The crowd erupted in acknowledgement. Alex felt a sense of belonging unlike anything he had ever experienced. He had come from a distant human world, a small speck in the galaxy, and yet here he stood, accepted by beings whose existence seemed impossible. The Queen placed a hand on his shoulder, her touch firm yet gentle. "You are now part of this world, Alex. Not as a visitor, but as a partner, a guardian, and a friend. You have earned this place." Alex looked around at the floating city, the glowing rivers, and the people he had come to respect. He felt a profound connection, not just to the Queen, but to this entire world. It was a responsibility he had never imagined, yet he accepted it willingly. He had been chosen, tested, and had succeeded. He was no longer just a human from a distant planet. He was a part of something greater, a bridge between worlds. As the twin suns set, casting golden and violet light across the floating islands, Alex stood beside the Queen. She looked at him, her eyes reflecting both pride and a hint of warmth. "Together," she said softly, "we will protect this world and perhaps show others what humanity can truly be." Alex nodded, feeling a sense of purpose that went beyond adventure or survival. He had been given more than a world. He had been given trust, partnership, and a chance to shape a future unlike anything humans had ever known. And as night fell, the city shimmered under the stars, alive with possibility. Alex knew that challenges would continue to come, that dangers lurked beyond the floating islands, and that the responsibilities of this world were immense. But he also knew that he was ready. He had the courage, the mind, and the heart to face whatever lay ahead. He glanced at the Queen, her presence a constant reminder of the bond they had forged. The world she had given him was not just hers, nor was it just his. It was a shared responsibility, a promise of cooperation and understanding. Alex smiled, feeling the weight of the world and the exhilaration of possibility at the same time. Humanity had reached farther than ever before, and through him, it had found a place among the stars. The story of Alex and the alien Queen was only beginning. Together they would face new trials, explore new territories, and show that courage, wisdom, and trust could unite worlds. And in the quiet moments, as the twin moons rose over the glowing rivers, Alex understood the Queen's words fully. "You're mine now, not in possession, but in partnership, trust, and shared destiny." For the first time in his life, Alex felt truly at home. He had been given a world, but more importantly, he had earned a place in it, and in doing so, had proven that humanity could rise to challenges beyond imagination.